Miesha, we hear that you're retired, but we know that you're not really tired. You're still working. You're still in the fight game. But what is it like? You've been in the game for so long to step away from mixed martial arts competition, considering it's been a big part of your life. You helped build the women's division. You gave people a reason to tune in to the girls.
Oh, it's really scary, honestly. People are like, oh, that must have been a difficult decision. And it's like, it wasn't really difficult because it was clear what I needed to do, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't scary. And it was like, well, now what? Like you think that, that moment's going to come sometime, but you're never really ready for that as a competitive athlete. So it's really scary, but it's been wonderful so far. I really enjoyed the transition and working with Fox, being an ambassador with the UFC, managing more fighters myself. I just got Cindy Dandois signed, so we're very excited that so my involvement with the sport is still at an all-time high, which I love. So it's not a bad spot to be in.
Do you now, I asked Tito, I asked Uriah Faber, do you get to look back and see the things that you've done and your contributions to this sport? Because if it wasn't for you and others like you, who knows if women would be fighting at the highest level?
Yeah, sometimes I look back and it's just like, wow, what a journey, and you don't really see it yourself until someone else points it out. It's like you don't really think. At the time, I didn't think about it. I've had people ask me too, like, oh, what was it like being a trailblazer wrestling on the guys? I'm like, I don't know. It was like I was just doing it. Like, I didn't realize it was going to be such a big deal until later. So, everything I've done has just been because I love this sport. I do. I love wrestling. I love MMA. And, I want to continue to be involved as much as possible.
You'll always go to the gym. Is that we've talked to many fighters like, nope, I've done my time in the gym. I'm retired. No more spending any time. It seems like you were in mixed martial arts where women weren't making any money, so it feels like this would be a part of your life forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love to be in the gym. I love to continue to learn, and I still want to compete in grappling, submission wrestling. So I just don't have a desire to get hit in the face anymore. I did that for 11 years. I'm good.
Where do you think the sport's going? We're seeing new technology. We're seeing fighters do things that we've never seen before because of quality martial arts through the inception of the UFC and moving forward. What do you expect to see in the future of these athletes?
Well, I think striking is on the rise again. Like you see a lot of strong strikers coming forward, and they're figuring out how to mix everything together. So I think the evolution of the sport is how well you can combine your wrestling, your striking, or anti-wrestling, your jiu-jitsu seamlessly. Everyone used to study one discipline and then they kind of added the other ones on. It's like now it's all just kind of becoming one big sport as an MMA, as MMA. So, that's kind of where I see the evolution of the game going.
How important is it that coaches are in contact with each other? Because you go to wrestling and then your wrestling coach isn't really talking to your striking coach. Meanwhile, you need rest before you go back and forth. Is it important that you have a general to make sure that you're maximizing your training?
Yeah, yeah, because I think as fighters, it's so easy to overtrain. It happens all the time. I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 when you see a fighter gas in a fight, it's because they trained too hard, not because they didn't train hard enough. Everyone criticizes, oh, they must not have done. No, they probably trained so hard that they were just dead when the fight came, So peaking is a process, and that's what your coaches are there. That's a huge part of, the help is like, hey, slow down, you pull the reins back, let's get you in peak performance the day of the fight, not the day before, not the week before, not 2 weeks before, not the day after. It has to be that day and that day only. It's all about timing.